All right then.
There you go. All right, one more person join us. Awesome. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Suki. Oh, I think she's just setting up her audio. Oh no, all good. Hello, Suki. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just about to get started. Woohoo! All right. All right, so welcome once again, everyone, for this very special moment for the community and me personally. Those who know me, and there's quite a few here who know me personally, know that I am really passionate about how to improve the world of work, and that everything that we do is always thinking about the others and the people that surround us. So the culture first came in as the right kind of community for me to personally kind of expand my horizons in there. And I'm looking forward to welcoming you all, almost as I would say, founding members sort of a thing for this particular pre-launch event. And thank you for your support today. So I will be forever known, yay, as Doha Chapter Lead. We have here Jessie with us, who is the Culture First Community Manager. She will tell her story in just a few seconds. And as mentioned before, so what we're looking to achieve today is to kind of just give you the introduction of how the Culture First communities work, what's their purpose, and what will our purpose of today be, to kind of introduce you to how we want to move forward and have you um, sharing your inputs to see how do you, because you will be crucial members of shaping this community, and where do we want to take it forward. So to make sure that this time that you invested into our session and any other future sessions or events are making it worthwhile for you and the people around you, how do you see it working out for you and happening for you. All right, so we definitely want to see inspiration towards the positive changes. And to start the positive, we kind of need to make sure that we have the right kind of energy in the room. So let's just start with like kind of a icebreaker session right there. Let's all check in and share two things. One, what is your energy level at the moment or today, whatever you feel more comfortable to share? And secondly, what exactly drew you to the gathering, besides my invitation, obviously?
All right, I love it. And let's do Nina, you mind if I set a timer to have people like briefly introduce themselves and then go through those prompts? Like, are you
By all means, we do have to limit some probably.
Okay, let's do
Nina was talking about you.
Yep, Neil, I was looking at your picture there, man. I was looking at you.
Amazing. Okay, I'll set a timer for 45 seconds each. Nina, you want to go first? Like, what's your energy level today? And then I'll go, and then we can open it up, and we'll model
Okay.
the behavior we want to see.
So I do the honors as the chapter lead. All right. So my energy level today is I am over the moon. I'm super excited and happy. There has been many positive things happening at work. I had a fantastic mid-year review with my line manager. I had an even better one-on-one with my senior manager, and here I am now rolling this out after I think more than 2 years in the cooking and making and baking, and I am just genuinely over the moon. And what got me to this gathering is, well, I'm the chapter lead. I I just need to be here for this to work. That's it. That's my time.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm excited to be here with you all. My name's Jessie Jacob. I'm actually based in the States, in the Midwest, in Kansas City, Missouri, if anyone happens to know where that is. It's just a small town girl. My energy today, it's still 10 a.m. here, so I'm just like waking up. I'm like got my coffee, but I'm looking forward to meeting you all and really curious about what's top of mind in Doha and what are you all thinking about in terms of creating a better world of work and what that looks like in your localized world. And what drew me today, I mean, I oversee all of our global chapters, and I can explain more about that in a bit. But yeah, that's me. Rather than like popcorning it or randomly choosing someone to go, just wanting to make sure that if you don't want to share, if you don't want to check in, that's totally cool. You're absolutely welcome to pass. Um, I'll just kind of let it go. Whoever wants to go next, go ahead and just like come off mute and I'll set a timer for you and we'll go from there.
I'll take a lead here.
I love it.
Okay, I'm Kanan. I've been in Doha for a while now. What was the first question? Remind me again. I'm 51, so forgive me.
How's your energy today?
Oh, energy is really good. So the day started off very well, and I think good things have fallen into place. It's continuing to fall with this and some things which are happening after this also. So that's really good energy. So nice place. And what got me here was because I'm ex-military and I came into the corporate. I thought there would be a lot of good in the corporate. I could get the military kind of process into the corporate. And with multiple companies, some of them 105 years old, some of them just new startups, I realized that culture is something people don't pay attention to. And I struggled. So it's a passion that I follow now in trying to get the good culture into the organizations that I'm in.
Love that. Thanks, Cannon. Thanks for sharing. All right. Oh, Neil, do you want to go next?
I'll go next. So my name is Neil D'Souza. I'm the CEO founder of Earnest Talent, and yeah, I've been in Qatar for more than 6 years now. What is my energy at the moment is I would say mediocre because I've been delivering 2 days of training. Today was the last day, so I'm actually kind of low in energy at the moment with speaking continuously for 2-3 days. So that's my current status. Well, I love to socialize and communicate, meet new people. So that's one thing that I'm here for. And Culture First is something about the culture which is extremely dear to me. That's what we speak as a professionals in and out. So it's always good to know more about other people's culture. So
Yeah, love that. Thanks, Neil. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. My name is Tamer. I've been in Doha or in Qatar for the last 14 years. My energy is good. I'm not gonna say perfect or low. It's good. Why I'm here, I wanted to know or understand if other people share what I think about culture and how does it go. I've been working with HR for the last 6 years. Today was a very good day for me because I've accomplished something I've been working on for the last 3 months, which is very good for me. That's all.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Who would like to go next?
I'm happy to go next. Yeah, great. So my name is Suki Gatore. I work for Aridu with Nina. And my energy actually was a little bit low, but seeing all of you and a lot of you with great energy has perked me up. So thank you very much. I'm excited to be here, excited about this chapter. And what drew me here today, one is Nina and all of her energy and excitement around it. But also I'm responsible for the employee experience at Aridu Group, but also for all of our operating companies. And culture has been on my agenda for many, many years. I've worked in that area for about 10 years. So yeah, I'm here to share knowledge and learn. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thanks, Suki. All right. Would anyone else like to go next?
I can go next. My name is Ngena Kieti. My mission in life is that I choose to live a positive life, to apply ethical balance in all that I do, and to help others achieve self-worth. So through this vision, the reason why I came here today was because I like places and experiences where different perspectives are not only acknowledged but celebrated, and I feel that this group will be able to do that. Also, as somebody who is currently a doctorate student and also a holder of HR certification and 2 masters, I felt that being here with this group will be able to improve my self-growth and be a better person. Over to you.
Woo-hoo. Awesome. Thanks, Sanjina. All right. And just giving space, if the other 2 individuals want to share, you're more than welcome to. If you want to pass, that's totally cool too. But just wanting to honor that whatever you feel comfortable with. All right. Okay, Nina, shall we keep the momentum?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
was just gonna say.
Yeah, go
All right.
ahead.
So, okay. So, in terms of my story, so we're all thinking, so Jessie and I we just had a conversation right before we kind of let you all in whether I should be sharing my story, how I got to know about Culture First, before we introduced you to the community or after. So I can just briefly give you an introduction through my story to the Culture First community. So how I got to know about it, it's very similar how it actually kind of checks in with some of the stories we heard today, like what brought you to join today is the similar idea what brought me to the Culture First community some years back. I was in a position where employee experience and the organizational culture was a crucial part of my daily work. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to capture all the best practices that are out there, and if there is any sort of tool or anything that would help me supporting me to bring in, the elevated or the different or the positive change in the culture that was at that time with a certain company I was with. And I came across Culture First. I was actually really lucky to just kind of come across a time for the global event that you guys had, and I noticed that during the sharing of different experiences and stories and all the fantastic achievements that the Culture First leads around the world were sharing, there was no one representing Doha and Qatar. So I kind of got into the conversation, and I thought that this is something that I would be very, very willing and happy to do. At that time, I was also already reaching my kind of saturation point of leading the mentoring program with Qatar Professional Women Network. So I really wanted to kind of change and get a fresh breath of something else to focus on. So this was the perfect choice. And here I am today. Yay! That's my story.
I love it. This is so cool. I'm so glad that we're finally doing this, Nina, after like meeting, I don't know, like almost a year ago. So we're finally
2. It's been more than 2 years. Time
so
flies.
cool. Okay, so like a little introduction about what is the Culture First community. It happens in a lot of different places. Like Nina mentioned, we have this like global chapters program. We have a global conference that Nina was referring to that we have hosted online the last few years. We have a digital Slack community with like 30,000 people in it, sharing ideas and jobs and resources and things like that. We have a newsletter, we have a podcast, we have all these different amazing ways of like how people can come together. And we have described it as like a group of people around the world united in the shared belief that a better world of work is possible. And I always like to say, and we're willing to do something about it. Like everyone here wants to share ideas, best practices, ideate with one another, but we all have this shared mission to create a better world of work. So our team is all about bringing together people who are wanting to unlock humanity at work through creating inspiring experiences and purposeful connections. And so this community the Culture First community is supported by an organization called Culture Amp. And so if you don't know what Culture Amp is, it's an employee experience platform. But their mission at Culture Amp is to create a better world of work. So that's like the why. And we have this big lofty goal of amplifying the experience and impact of over 100 million people at work, which is like an absurd number of people on the planet. And Culture Amp knows that we're not going to be able to touch that many lives with just like our software and our technology alone, which is why we've invested in the community with these like different areas of how people can come together and share ideas and best practices. That's the how we do this. And so you can think of this as like Patagonia donates its profits to global climate change research, or Tom's has their like 1-for-1 model with the shoes that they, if you buy a pair, they donate a pair. The Culture Amp has invested in the Culture First community as a way to authentically deliver on that mission to create a better world of work. It's so much bigger than just our technology. And so we have these 5 core principles that hold us all together. So now at this point, we have this chapters community. I guess a little bit of like how I got here. I went to Culture First Global. So the conference that Nina was referring to back in 2019, it was an in-person conference. And I had a chance to go to San Francisco, and basically was like, I had this like overwhelming feeling of like, these are my people. Like everyone's talking about all the things that I want to talk about. I want to learn and grow as like a culture professional. I want to learn from other people. I want to share my knowledge. And I just like overwhelmingly so was like, how do I bottle this energy up and bring it back to my hometown and keep having like local conversations? And so then Culture Amp was like, we're going to build this chapters community. And back in 2019, it was just like a cute idea. And now it's like this giant community. And I started my local hometown chapter. And since then, we now have like 200 community members. We've hosted probably 40 events since then. And now I didn't anticipate that I would be like running our global chapters program and supporting all of our global volunteer chapter leads. And I think what makes us super unique is that these 5 core principles are like the glue that holds us all together. This is how we ask people to show up at our gatherings. So the first core principle is around fostering belonging and acceptance. This idea of like letting people feel seen, valued, and appreciated for just being who they are and showing up. And even Ingina kind of shared this in her introduction, which is like, yeah, people are not only, it's not only differences are not only accepted, but they're celebrated. Like that is very much something that we're all about. The second core principle is having the willingness to reflect and grow. If we are like on this mission to transform the future of work, our organizations have to do work to transform and make a better employee experience. But ultimately that starts with us being the change we want to see in the world. So like, how might I grow? How might I have impact on the world of work? The third core principles have the courage to be vulnerable. It's this idea of like, we're constantly wearing masks and identifiers and these different ways of labeling ourselves. And if we're able to kind of like own those identities and be more of ourselves at work, it just gives other people permission to be more of themselves at work and creates more trust and psychological safety on our mission to doing this work together. The fourth core principle is putting learning into action. We are all about not just like learning something, but like this idea of we don't want content to just go in one ear and out the other. We want this to be a place where you feel inspired to take action and implement the things that you learn into the way that you live and to the way that you work. And then the last core principle I would say is like probably that what makes our community like the most special and unique So it's connection inside, business outside. And what that really means is that in the context of the Culture First community gatherings, we ask people to connect first as human beings. And if that leads to you all doing business later, that's cool. But like sales and like hardcore networking is like not the purpose of the community. The purpose of the community is for us to learn and grow and connect with one another. And of course, do we want people to, many of our community members are consultants. Like, do we want you all to connect and do business together? Yes, we want that to happen. That's awesome. But we don't want people at our community gatherings to feel sold to like feel like they're getting like needing to sign up for a demo or any of that. And that same goes for Culture Amp. So yes, the Culture First community is supported by Culture Amp, but our community members at no point are sold to on Culture Amp services. This is like we take this principle very seriously, which has been part of the reason that our community has been so successful, is because we really honor this. So I'm going to take a pause there and just like see which of these like principles kind of resonates with you all. Maybe it's something that resonates today. Maybe it's a principle that resonates with the way that you live your life, but just like curious to hear if anyone wants to jump in. You're welcome to share in the chat or come off mute, but would love to hear your thoughts.
I will go. The principle that I feel that resonates with me most is foster belonging and acceptance. We live in a world whereby, especially in this continent, people tend to be judged by their job title, where they work, where they're from. And I'm lucky because I came from parents who told me that it's all about an individual. It doesn't matter where you're from or what you have done. If we are all equal, whether we are the people who are cleaning the streets or are in those boardrooms. So wherever I go, I just try to foster a culture of belonging and acceptance to everyone around me.
I love that.
I can come in next. I think that what, apologies if I get the name wrong, Nagina said, it really resonates with me. And I think for me, it's humanity first. You know, we're all human beings. We're all, it doesn't matter what your title says, treat each other with respect and be inclusive. And also what you resonated, what you said at the end really resonates with me as well, because I'm coming to this group to learn and share. I don't want hardcore sales, and I don't want, you know, I don't want people approaching me to sell me things. We're here to network and learn from each other. So that also really resonated with me around the connections. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Suki. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah, I think I'd just like to add what Suki was just saying, connection inside, business outside. I think there are quite a few networking groups that are there, which is pure hardcore business, talk business and connect and do business. But I like this part which clearly mentions, you know, connection inside. First, talk about connection, build that kind of a bond, have that cultural thing in, and then you are free to do business. So that's quite impressive and very well put.
Yeah. Yay. Thanks, Neil.
Yeah, I agree with this. I mean, all of us who are been in Doha and Qatar for some time know that there is a plethora of these kind of networking events and communities. And this one, I really envision it. And this is why I love the when I first learned about the core principles that, you know, this is supposed to be something way different from everything else that's out there and available, right? Because we are not here to sell each other on our services or products or whatever's. We are here to come together as professionals, as people who genuinely care about making a difference and kind of working it out, inspiring each other. How can we make it happen? So this is always, I hope to remain always a very, very safe environment for everyone to come in and, you know, kind of explore what is out there that they can utilize within their own work and life to make sure that they make the positive change they are looking for.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, the business stuff happens organically after we make real human connections. It's like we hosted a in-person community event, and some community members came up to me afterwards and they're like, this was like the best professional like development day I've had in so long. And they were like, I'm just like waiting for Culture Amp to like pitch me on signing up for a demo or something like that, And I like looked at them and I was like, I'm so glad this has been valuable, that you've like learned and you've met some amazing people. And I was like, do you know that like this whole day was, yes, sponsored by Culture Amp? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, cool, that's it. This is like a pure brand awareness thing for our company. But what it is at its purest form is like, we do care about this mission to create a better world of work. We do care about protecting this environment where people feel like they can just come and learn and grow together. That's what it's all about. And then that business stuff happens as a result. You may hire a community member that you meet here one day to come and work at your organization or to do some consulting work. Like, of course, that stuff happens organically. But the whole purpose of the community is to foster belonging, foster this like learning and growing and developing together. So I really do genuinely believe that principle is like what has made our community unique and successful over time. Okay, a little bit more about this like global chapters community. I even need to update this slide. I'm so sorry. We have now 100 global chapters, which is so wild. We are in over 20 countries now. I believe with Doha, this would put us at 95 cities, which is also incredible. We have 16,000 community members globally. And since the inception of our chapters program back in 2019, we're actually at 900 events, which is so cool. So this community has grown from like an idea to like now this really cool, beautiful thing where lots of people who are aligned from our mission are connecting and learning and growing together. Here are just like a few photos of Culture First gatherings. This is a photo of some of our chapter leads. This is our chapter lead in Dubai. This is our chapter lead in Pune, India. This is our chapter lead in Mauritius. This is our chapter lead in Geneva. Here's some Dubai local community members meeting together. Here is a photo of our chapter lead who lives in Cyprus. Here's our chapter lead in Dublin. This was from the viewing party that we hosted in Melbourne, Australia. So just like some people are hosting in-person things, some people are hosting Zoom events, just an idea of like who the folks are in this global community. It's really cool to see these amazing humans that I get to collaborate with. This is the local San Francisco chapter gathering. They met to watch our global conference back a few months ago. Again, the Melbourne chapter viewing party. It's really cool to see amazing humans around the world gathering around a similar mission. But all right, that's enough about the community. I share all of this because you all get to make this your own. So like the Culture First community, we don't dictate the content you all need to discuss. So we don't, yes, we have like research and we have resources and things to help you gather. But ultimately this is your community. You get to decide what's top of mind for us in Qatar? Like what are the challenges that we're all individually experiencing at our organizations and how might we support each other? And that may look totally different from, there are similarities between what you all are maybe discussing with the New York chapter, but also you all have unique and different things that you are focused on. So all this to show is like, you are part of this bigger mission and you all get to decide how you gather and the things that you discuss. We just provide the support to be able to do it, the framework to do it. So wanting to open it up to hear this idea. We've kind of even started talking about this in the introductions, but like why you care about creating a better world of work.
I was actually just going to say that we already kind of touched upon this group discussion topic. What I'm concerned, like what I'm thinking, Jessie, is knowing what is, in our agenda next is that we might want to, I mean, it's up to the group to decide, but what I was thinking is maybe we jump straight to the action because we still like, I'm just cautious of time. It's like 24-ish minutes left until the end of the event. And I would just definitely like us to kind of go into the action part. So to kind of start talking and can lead the discussion from there. And then we can also, if somebody would like to share, about like in terms of what do they care, what is that they're passionate about in terms of the better world of work, it can kind of fall into the action planning part as well, if you agree, if the team agrees.
Let's do it.
Guys, are you okay with that?
Sure, maybe we can start.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Because,
that's
You know,
nice, yeah.
from my side, I've never heard about this initiative until today. So I think it would be a great idea if we can actually spread this all over Doha, or not just Doha, all over Qatar. Because a lot of the companies I worked in, they don't have this concept. What they have is, money, money, money. That's it. Profit, and that's it. Maybe if you can help us with some material I know from my side, I can deliver a night school in my company, spreading awareness about what is culture, what is better work life, how can we do it. This I can help with, but I would need help with the material itself and the better idea so I can give the training itself.
And Tamara, I would be happy to help and support you as well. And in turn, I have a lot of material and thinking as well, so I would be more than happy to
Thank you
share
very much.
my
Thank you very
knowledge
much.
and thinking as well.
Perfect.
So I'll just go with this one. What I would be looking for is methods in which we constantly talk about having a bad culture at work, but I don't have the tools of how to systematically go about changing it. Just me wishing for it, me doing our bit doesn't change the management or doesn't change the overall scenario. So how do you cope with these things? And what are the mechanisms that I can use to gradually change the culture to something better? I would like to know about that. And in terms of the community interaction, Neil, Nikolina, me, we all have been part of a community here in Qatar, and we used to interact socially so that we could brainstorm and just discuss ideas. And that is what I would look for this community to grow into, where we have a safe space to talk honestly, to share ideas honestly, if required, be critical honestly, and we remain safe in that environment.
I love that, Cannon. Yeah.
Now, I might have an idea about this. Sorry to interrupt. Now, my company, they have created this program because I was part of the GEIS award, which is given for diversity and inclusion. I wrote the policy about it. So one of the policy terms was creating, like what you said, Kanan, creating a safe space for staff to speak. So what we did, we contracted a company in UK, in United Kingdom, which they give you a phone number, free to call. You can go ahead, call them. You will have a shrink on the other side. She or him, they will hear you. You can say whatever you want, as it's a safe space or safe place, and they will not report you back to your manager or whatever happens. So maybe if we can spread this out, it might help staff to speak up more.
I like that.
Got it.
Even
Thank you for that.
sharing of things that you've already used that have worked well. Yeah, like sharing your practices, best practices. Even Suki was saying, like, happy to share the materials that have worked for her too.
Yeah, and in Redo, what we've been doing recently, and Nina will know about this, is actually we've been training all of our line managers and employees on what psychological safety is as well, and how you can create psychological safety in the workplace. So we can share things around that in a session if need be.
I love that.
I would love this community to grow in Qatar very fast and then help more small companies to change their culture, because as an employee in HR, honestly, we are suffering in many companies. I have heard from my friends as well. Many people, even though HR managers level people, they are suffering because of the culture from the higher management. How we can change a culture change from higher management level.
Sorry, can I add something to that as well? I'm sorry, I keep coming in. I will close my mouth in a minute.
No, Suki, please continue.
I think that the added complexity that we have with culture is the country culture impacts the organizational culture a lot. And especially in the Middle Eastern region, there is a huge bureaucratic type of culture, and the country culture is having a huge impact, I think, on especially smaller organizations as well. And so we are not just tackling aspects of the company culture, we are, tackling the good aspects of the country culture, but also other aspects as well.
I feel like that was really well
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
I
go
would
ahead.
agree with you, Suki, but I think from my experience, people need to change themselves. Because I have a lot of staff who comes to me and they will say, because I'm from this nationality, they do this to me. No, we're not. No, we are not. You need to understand this. If you keep victimizing yourself and if you keep saying that because of this, this is happening, you'll never grow. People will not see you in a different box. You understand? It's because they put themselves over there. Like they come to me and they say because of this, because he's his cousin or he had no, we have regulations, we have policies, we have rules. Just follow it and nothing will happen to you. But do not do the mistake and say, because this guy has done it, it's okay for him, but it's not good, okay for me. Did you understand what happened to that guy? We don't have to share with you that he received a warning letter or whatever punishment they have received. But people need to understand that, start changing themselves. They don't have to keep victimizing themselves. Sorry to barge in again.
I love that. I think there's like this, I think there is kind of this ideology of like what Suki said around like country culture can impact company culture. And we have personal agency, we have choice, we have the ability to change and grow ourselves too. So like, how might we have a discussion about that? I think that would be fascinating to like pull that thread a bit more in a future gathering.
Yeah, and also
yeah.
what Tamar said is absolutely right, in the sense that when you're disciplining someone, you don't advertise it and people don't see that.
Yeah, but what I want to add is something we all need to understand, and it's something that I realized when I moved to Middle East. Perception here is more relevant than the actuality. So what people perceive an individual to be, that's how they're going to treat an individual. And it takes a lot of courage for one person to say no. I have been called a hothead because when I tell people, I say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do this because that is not right. People are like, but that is the culture over here. And I'm like, no, I don't follow culture. I follow my self-will. But you need to realize, for me to actually say that, I am insecure with the fact that I do not mind losing my job. So however much we want to bring perception and culture, we need to realize that we need to balance both work and personal life. And in order for change to happen, we need to advocate for policies that promote inclusivity, diversity, not only in the workplace, but also in the country. I'm a member of Toastmasters, and when the sergeant at arms stands up, he says 3 things. You can make a speech in any topic, but you're not allowed to make a speech in sex, religion, and culture. That tells you how much the law, how much policies in this place tend to limit individuals. And that's why we tend to see a lot of companies, and especially the smaller one, make a lot of people and create environment that is not conducive to people. So for that to happen, we have to be open and willing to say, hey, stop making advertisement that target a certain gender, a certain religion, a certain people. You need to be diverse. Hey, create policies, create rules that promote everyone and creates everyone to be equal. And stop this mentality of all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. That's how we are going to progress, not only as individuals, but as a country. That's my opinion.
I love that. And Gina, what's coming up for me is like your culture of an organization, your culture of a country, those all have different values and things that they stand for, the way that they do things, how we do things. But we as individuals also have values and things that guide us in the way that things that we believe and the way that we show up in the world. And those can very much either like jive and align with one another, or they can very much where you're saying like, yeah, I'm going to say no, because that's not in alignment with what I actually care about as a human being, and how challenging that can be.
Right. As long as, I mean,
Actually,
as much as it is very, the magic happens when the personal values are aligned with the organization you are with, right? With the values of the organization you're with. But we also do have to keep in mind, I have to be a bit of a devil's advocate here and manage everyone's expectations. We, at the end of the day, we might have personal opinions towards the country we live in and the laws or the culture of the country whatsoever. But what I feel is that, generally speaking, I think that the values that the country is promoting on the overall level are actually quite inclusive and supportive. It's the sorry, it's the how how some individuals, owners, or companies, or whatever you name it, kind of exploit it or interpret it is that where the things go wrong. Now, what we also need to be aware of is that we, as a culture first chapter here in Doha, we are not going to be probably echoing a huge difference in some of the things that are just embedded here, that are just basically law, very simply put. So we shouldn't be expecting that the movement we're going to create, it will be as powerful or as impactful towards the laws that are embedded very deeply in the roots of the country. So we have to be respectful towards it. And this is something that I feel like, when Gina mentioned, well, if it's not right, it's the culture. So the question is, how much of it is that you can actually impact, and whether are you then the culture fit to this organization? Is it the culture that's wrong, or is it your fit not being the right one? So that in mind, let's just maintain this this is a positive environment. We are all aware that there are certain limitations within the country laws and rules and regulations that we will not be able to change at any point sooner or later, but we have to kind of keep it within the limits, what we can do. Thanks.
And I think we're forgetting here that actually there are so many beautiful things which are better than other countries about the culture, to be quite frank. I think that's important to acknowledge. And also, I think, Nagina, you also hit the nail on the head in one sense that you know, we're privileged. We're okay. If we lose our job, then it might be okay. But there are a lot of people out there that can't afford to lose their job, so they're not in a position to fight that battle. You know, they're here for a specific reason. They will do that and then go home. And we are guests in this country. We need to be respectful to the country culture. You know, otherwise, I've known people who've come here, not survived 6 months because they couldn't fit into the culture. And also, you know, company cultures are different. If you do the study, there are some which are, you know, caring, nurturing. Others are, you know, a different way. And it's a balance that you've got to get, and you've got to decide. I've been to a company that was absolutely ruthless, and I knew I wouldn't fit in there. Within 3 months, I was gone. You know, it was you have to work from 9 to midnight and weekends, and you know, we're going to be absolutely ruthless when it comes to certain things. And I thought, you know, no, I've got to live a life. Yeah.
I'm loving this discussion. It's like it's the balance, right, of it all. Like we have to have dichotomy. There has to be like the messy middle is where we are, you know? Amazing. Okay, we only have 9. Oh yeah, go ahead, Tamer.
Just if I might add, maybe it's difficult because everything that we have promoted for is a fight, which it shouldn't be a fight. You know, changing something it could be simple. It just needs steps. It needs planning. It needs to take the correct approach. So I've been living in this country for 14 years. Not even once I have been stopped by police. And I have visited around 23 countries all over the world, and I have been stopped in 5 of them. And I'm a tourist. So here is very good. Here is very nice. It's better than anywhere else I have visited. So what I love over here that yes, there is limitations, but you also have the freedom to do something. You will be defended. You will find someone to stand by you and help you. Just to add this thought over.
Thank you, Tamer. Neil, I saw you moving yourself from unmute. Were you trying to say something?
Yeah, so what I feel is, see, like mid-sized firms, which is more owner-driven versus a company that has a proper board and functions in a much professional way with policies and things. There I see a huge difference, you know, where I work across the spectrum, servicing clients, and I have worked with companies of that sort. I see that clear difference. So I believe you know, we will have a great opportunity to draft something that is very simple for mid-sized SMEs that will help them out to look at a manual or a step-by-step approach to bring them on board as to telling them what exactly culture stands for and what can be done, simple things that can be done for them to cope up and you know, change that environment into more productive and more positive. So that's something that I feel can be done easily.
Small steps, small steps.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an awesome discussion. There's a lot, I feel like there's a lot of places that we could take this. This is just the beginning, but this is your chapter from here. I was looking and I think everyone has joined the chapter, but wanting to make sure if you haven't already like subscribed to the chapter, here, I'll drop this in the chat. Then that way, if you are properly joined to the chapter, when Nina publishes her next event, then you all will be invited to that. So making sure that if you're not already a member on this page that I just dropped, you'll want to make sure you do that. And then I don't know what's coming up for me. I almost like Nina. I feel like this, obviously this is wherever you want to take this. And I don't know what's your specific call to action or anything, but I almost would like find it fascinating to do like a show and tell with this group of like, give everyone like 5-ish minutes to be like, what's one practical thing that's worked really well? Like Tamer was talking about like the company that they worked with in the UK with the phone line, like just one small little piece of advice. And then we turn it into like a mastermind or a brain trust of like, okay, who has a specific challenge that they're working on? And then how might we solve for that and support each other? That could be like an easy first next step. And then maybe someone wants to lead a whole session on psychological safety. Like Suki could probably do a whole thing if she wanted to on like teach us some of the things that she's learned with resources. And I don't know, there's a wealth of knowledge in this room. So really excited to see where you all take this.
Yeah, I think that I'm understanding how the community works in this country. What I would like to check first with the current participants, whether we would be interested in creating a WhatsApp group for us to just have a discussion sorted specifically focused on culture and culture related topics. I know that we all come from pretty much the same community, which is the Qatar HR Forum. But obviously, the topics discussed there potentially might not always be the ones that we are, referring to when we talk about the culture first. So, as my first next step, I would recommend creating a separate WhatsApp group for the culture first chapter, where I would be adding all of you. And in this, what I would like to clear out is obviously this is a pre-launch session. So we are planning to have a proper in-person launch event in September. And for this one, I would like us to have a solid agenda where we as the initial members can put together, a certain number of topics that we can display to the community and get the conversations going around it. So I would definitely recommend brainstorming over these topics either in WhatsApp group or we can have a separate connect. But I think the WhatsApp is probably the best. You can do a poll session in there to kind of see whatever works the best for the community we're in. What does everybody think?
My suggestion is opening a WhatsApp group, and then also same time, do we have any LinkedIn pages? Do we
Yep.
have any LinkedIn pages? Oh, okay. So can someone share that one so we can follow that one and then we can share our ideas there?
Yes, of course. So we will share with you all of the available options, how to get in touch, how to utilize actually the wealth of knowledge that is captured within not only our community as our chapter, but also the global chapters that are already out there and running full speed, so that you can also well, get your ideas from there as well. So we will be sharing with you all of the options how one can uh, get in touch and stay connected and learn and grow with the options from the community.
Just a question. You said about global community. Do they have some educational sessions like videos and articles that we can actually refer to so that we can be able to get ideas?
Yeah, so there is, I'm going to drop this in the chat. We have, so all of our community members are part of our like global chapters community if you want to join. And we host all sorts of events that you are welcome to join. We have one coming up on September 5th around like digital well-being and how to change this like always on culture that many of us are a part of. But there's also like, you can look through the past events on there as well. We've done stuff on the state of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've done things on neurodiversity. Yeah, there's all sorts of things.
The upcoming one really sounds very interesting and so current to the where we are now as the world of work, the digital well-being. Looking forward to that one.
Me too.
Awesome. So it's 7 p.m., guys. I think that's a wrap for our pre-launch. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for supporting this. And, here's to creating the better world of work in Doha, Qatar. And looking forward to our, everything that we're going to do. We're going to do great things together, people.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Let's do
Welcome.
let's do a one-word checkout. Drop your one word to describe how you're feeling in the chat, and then we'll get out of here. So if you had to sum up your experience from the last hour together, whether it's how you're feeling or a reflection word, but enlightened, still excited. Awesome. Yay. Cool.
All right, hooray. So we made history today with
We
Doha's
did
first culture
it.
first. Yay.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Can I lead us in a clap out, Nina? Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
do
what
that.
we're gonna do,
Okay.
Nina's gonna count to 3. She's gonna go 1, 2, 3. We're all gonna clap, and then this Zoom meeting's just gonna shut off. Okay.
All right.
So
Let's do
so
that.
everyone come off mute. Thank you all so much for being here. Congratulations on launching a chapter. Cheers to co-creating a better world of work. Nina, count us to 3. We're ready.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3.